Well, welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Could the Bears pull off a blockbuster draft trade in which they trade down from the number 10 pick in the NFL draft? I'm going to explore three scenarios, and two in particular that really stand out to me based on just recent activity and things that could come to fruition. So let's go ahead and dive on in here. The first one is a trade down scenario with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, the Bears have traded with the Steelers before, Justin Fields, Chase Claypool, and now, speaking of Justin Fields, the Steelers find themselves in a quarterback predicament once again, as the only QB currently on their roster, well, technically they have two, Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson, whether or not they have Aaron Rodgers, and I still think they'll end up landing him, but even if they do, that's likely a one-year deal. There could be a scenario where they look to move up for a quarterback. Now, if they land Rodgers, it probably decreases those percentages just a little bit because they don't currently have a second-round pick. But what if a guy like Shedeur Sanders slides? And with the Giants signing Russell Wilson, many believe that could be the case. And maybe the number 10 pick where the Bears sit is a potential sweet spot for a team like Pittsburgh, who's picking at 21. So here's a trade proposal between the Bears and the Steelers. Bears move back 11 spots from 10 to 21, pick up their third-round pick, 83 overall, and a first next year for the 10th overall pick. Obviously, that's a decent price for Pittsburgh, but that's a pretty similar package to when the Bears traded up from 20 to 11 to go up and get Justin Fields back in 2021. So I think that's probably what I'd be charging if I was the Bears, especially for a team without a second-round pick. Okay, I'll take your third and I'll take a first next year. Otherwise, I'm not moving off 10. If you can get a first in next year's draft and you don't love the board at 10, or even if you like the board but think that getting a first next year could be super valuable, like, that'd be pretty awesome. Then you have 2 first-round picks next year. That's a lot of ammunition. And look, as time goes on, you want more draft picks if you become a contending team, because when you become a contending team, you have good players. You got to pay more players, which means you need more draft capital and need to hit on more draft picks. So I would certainly not be out of this type of move if it became available to Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. So obviously a lot of time between now and the draft if something like this were to pop up. Okay, if you're excited for the NFL draft, let us know by liking this video. Hit that thumbs up icon. We're less than a month away. Can't wait to cover it with all of you. I'm fired up, so I'm going to like the video. Okay, how about trading down with the Giants? There's been some internet rumors. Our good friend Slick Ricky Scoops, also the Sears Tower, they've been kind of speculating online, and there's been some other chatter that with the Giants now signing Russ, they really like Travis Hunter at 3, but would like the idea of trading back into the first round, drafting his teammate and quarterback Shedeur Sanders to get their quarterback for the future as well, because let's face it, Russell Wilson isn't their long-term solution, and neither is Jameis Winston. So there's kind of been this idea of, could the Giants double dip and get both Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders to play together? We'll take a look at what a potential trade could look like for that coming up here in just a little bit. But first, do want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. That, of course, is Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that can help you find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, your overall budget, and can even help to negotiate to lower your bills by up to 20%. Speaking of those subscriptions, we all have them, right? Streaming services, delivery services, online newspapers, whatever it is. But what you don't want to do is overspend, right? When you sign up in real time, you're like, oh, it's just an extra $10 per month. Well, you do that, 7, 8, 9, 12 times. All of a sudden, you're spending a bunch of money per month and on an annual basis, and chances are you are not using all those services consistently. So what Rocket Money will do is show you just how much you're spending per month and how much you're spending on each individually of these services. And if you don't want them anymore, with tapping a few buttons, you can get those canceled and start saving money on a monthly and annual basis, because most Americans think they're spending about $62 per month on subscriptions. That number is closer to $300. Rocket Money has 5 million customers and counting, and have saved their customers $500 million in canceled subscriptions alone, including members up to $740 per year. So what are you waiting for? Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel those unwanted subscriptions. Use the Rocket Money app for all their other benefits as well, including just basic day-to-day banking things. Go to rocketmoney.com/bears now. It's rocketmoney.com/bears now. Use our link to support the show, support yourself, tell them we sent you, and check out Rocket Money today. Okay, here's my Bears-Giants trade idea. So obviously, they've already picked at 3. They don't have another first this year. So I get 34, just outside the first round. I get both their third-round picks as well, 65 and 99, and a first next year. So 34, 65, 99, first next year. And look, let's face it, they could be bad again. So that could end up being a pretty high pick. Giants get number 10. Obviously a bit of a tough pill to swallow in this scenario because you wouldn't have a first-round pick. But look at the day 2 capital you would have. And this is a draft where many believe the true value is in the depth in the second and third round. You could get the same caliber of player at 20 that you could at 50 in some cases. That's what scouts and draft analysts believe. So you would have 34, 39, and 41 in the second round, 65, 72, and 99 in the third round. And you would have an additional first-round pick next year in addition to the one the Bears already have. So they'd have 2 first-round picks next year. That's a lot of capital. And by the way, you'd have plenty of ammo to move back into the first round. So, like, if you want to take that haul of a trade, and then, if an opportunity comes up in the late teens or early 20s, you would have plenty of ammunition to move back in if you wanted to. So, at first, and I talked to Marshall Green about this, our Giants host, and maybe we'll do some kind of a collab talking about this possibility, but I was like, man, getting out of the first round. But then I was like, you're going to have plenty to jump back in if you want to. And even if you didn't, think about the volume of impact players you could get on day 2. I mean, hell, you could use a couple of those picks to trade for a veteran player if you wanted to. So that would be pretty exciting second day of the draft that's what ended up happening. Again, it would depend who's available at 10. I'm not sure the Giants would do this, but if Shedeur is there and they've drafted Travis Hunter, you got to be thinking they'd at least think about it because Joe Shea and Brian Daboll, they need to sell ownership on a long-term QB plan. I don't think Russell Wilson is that. So I'll put the trade back up. 34, 65, 99, and a first next year coming to the Bears for the number 10 overall pick. Would you do this trade? Type Y for yes, you would. Type N for no, you would not. I would be thinking about it, man, depending on who's available at 10, because that is just a lot of picks that you can work with if you're the Chicago Bears and Ryan Poles. Okay, one more in there that I'll throw in, a trade down with Seattle. I doubt Seattle would trade up for a quarterback, but they could trade up for an offensive lineman. And if Ashton Genty is gone at 10 and you don't love the board and, maybe Will Campbell and or Armand Mimbu is there, but you're not sold that they could play left tackle, but Seahawks are sitting there saying, hey, well, I'd love Will Campbell to play at guard or right tackle or something like that, maybe they could be an ideal target. They now have that extra second-round pick that they could be willing to part with since they traded DK Metcalf out. So I think they could be an interesting team to monitor here. So just a simple trade here. Bears get 18 and 52. That's the pick from Pittsburgh. Their own second-round pick is 50, so not a big difference there. And then Seattle moves up to 10, which on the draft chart, that's a slight, point overpay for Seattle. But again, if you're trading in round 1, you're gonna pay a bit of a premium. So I'd say that's pretty standard value there to move up 8 slots in the top 20. And if you're the Bears and you really want one of the top running backs, that could be around the range for a Marion Hampton. Hampton could go, I'd say the absolute ceiling for him is probably the Bears at 10, and then the floor, like Pittsburgh at 21, Minnesota at 24, although now with them getting the kid from San Francisco, Jordan Mason, that's probably unlikely. Denver at 20, another popular team. I think he'll go somewhere between 10 and 25. So 18 could be a spot where move back, get an extra second-round pick. Maybe you take Hampton. If he's gone, take a different player at 18. You've got the extra second-round pick. You could snag a back on day 2 as well. So would just give you more flexibility and options and an extra dart throw in this NFL draft. All right, there you go. 3 trade down ideas. Do you want the Bears to trade down from the number 10 pick? Type T for trade. You do want to trade down, or type S for stay. Again, it all depends on what offers you're getting. It all depends who's on the board. If there's a true blue chipper there, I always say you can't go wrong with drafting a blue chipper, but give us your thoughts down in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will continue to pump out content here on a daily basis. So if you're new here, if you haven't joined us fully yet by subscribing, it is free. Just got to click that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you never miss out when we post a video. You'll get notified on your phone, and we'll see you next time.